So my name's Joe. 11 months ago, I launched Frame Again. Shameless exploitation, I apologise. We print, frame and deliver your photos straight from your phone. And as Steve said, we successfully crowdfunded successfully earlier on this year. The reason that we turned to the crowd was because we had an opportunity to go on the Dragon's Den, and we weren't successful. We turned down the offer, and so we left, as Evan Davis says, with nothing. But it was, in fact, we were. So me and my co-founder Jake, we were out the other night, and I heard this from over my shoulder. I heard someone introduce themselves to him as Dr. Lear, the winner of The Apprentice, and he said, "Oh, you won The Apprentice? That's so funny because we lost the Dragon's Den." So we had, we had this opportunity. We were going to be put in front of 2.5 million people, which was the average audience of who watches the Dragon's Den, and there was a chance where we could have just tried to sell a load of photo frames, but actually we had raised a bit of money through angel investment before, and we thought actually this is a good opportunity to use the coverage and the platform that we had and turn it into a crowdfund. So you have like a 6-month gap between when the filming's done, which was in March, to when they're going to air it, and you don't know for sure if you're going to get on television. You don't even know how they're going to edit it and whatever. When we left the studio, we thought, okay, there's no way that they can really screw us. There's no way that it's going to be terrible. So let's plan our campaign around this. And instead of planning a sales campaign, what we did was plan a crowdfunding campaign. So the second that the show went out, which was on a Monday night, we had our crowdfunding campaign, which was on the Seeders platform. We had it 15% funded already, and we'd done that kind of off the books before going public, as it were. We went round to our networks and said, look, we're going to be going live when 2.5 million people are going to be watching the television. We don't want to be 0%, we want to be 15% funded to have some momentum. And you go on the Den and there's thousands of tweets going on. There's a lot of online conversation. What we did was hijack that conversation, and we turned it into, that's great, we're glad you're watching us and you're commenting, whatever. This is what we're doing. We thought, 1,000 dragons is better than one, basically. And on the show, we had a unique offer from Peter Jones, which had never been seen in 10 years from the Den, and we were able to say no to it. Now, it was a pretty crummy offer, and he wanted to buy out the business, but still, it gave us an opportunity to say, you know what, actually, the dragons is, it's 10 years old, and these guys are very industry-focused individuals. Duncan Panatine did not even understand the business. He didn't get his head around it. We thought we can make something of this. That's yesterday. That isn't how we raise funds anymore. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to crowdfund. And so the second that the show went out, we had a new landing page on our website which said you can get framing, you can order your framed photos, or you can invest from as little as £10. And what it did was it presented customers with an offer that not many of them had had before, which was to invest in a business. Now we're talking, for £10 you get a very small amount of equity, but it was still an offer that they hadn't had before. So we had that on our website the entire time. We had it on all our other social channels the entire time, saying, look, you can shop, but also you can invest. And it's an interesting proposition for customers who were going to spend a tenner on a photo frame, or they can spend a tenner on investing in us and backing us, or hopefully both. Because if you're a customer, then you're kind of more bought into the business anyway, and gives you a better chance of investing. Now, don't get me wrong, we had bigger ticket investors on our Seeders page. We ended up raising 60 grand, right? So we had some bigger ticket guys, but we have now 200 plus investors. So there were a considerable amount of people who invested just a tenner or 20 quid upwards. So, you can't discount the value of those individual people, investing a tenner. We also did a flyering campaign. Me and my business partner, we got a load of students from UCL and we hired them. We got all these t-shirts made, and, 6 o'clock the next morning after the show had aired, we were down in central London flyering the Cedars campaign, flyering the crowdfunding campaign. We weren't flyering to sell photo frames. We were flyering just this campaign. And you know, something that I realized really profoundly from doing this is that raising money through the crowd is not a means to an end. You have to see it as its own selling point. And actually, you face exactly the same challenges that you do if you're a new business and you set up a website and you're looking for customers. You face exactly the same challenges, which is to drive traffic. That's what you've got to do. You have to drive traffic to your crowdfunding campaign as much as you have to drive traffic to your website to sell your product. And that's what I realized the challenge. So you can't see it as it's not a panacea for startups, capital woes. You can't just build a crowdfunding page and think, brilliant, there we go, I'm going to raise loads of money. You still have to drive the people to the page and then actually pitch to them. And so it really brought us back to the original challenge of the business to sell framed photos, which was to actually drive traffic to the site. And it's a really valuable lesson. And I really believe that Henry and the guys here, what they can offer is that support, is that marketing support, because we were successful on Cedars and it was great, but we were out on our own. You know, we were fortunate enough to have been put in front of 2.5 million people on the television. Fantastic, that gives you a really great opportunity. You still have to leverage it, you still have to take advantage of it, and you still have to know how to drive traffic to your website. So I think, you know, that was the biggest lesson that I learned. It was a really interesting thing for us to do because we were able to say that, you know, look, we went on the Dragon's Den, that was one route to funding. We also had private angel investment. That's another route for funding. And then we had crowdfunding to finish the round. Our 60 grand that we got from Cedars just finished our first round. And so I think that people can't see it again as an answer to all their problems. It's not the only way to raise funds now. But what we realize is actually by giving our customers, and we pride ourselves on really personal customer service, you give our customers a way to buy into the business more, to be ambassadors for your business. That was a really, really interesting way to take advantage of crowdfunding. And so, I mean, I think Henry, you know, what you guys are going to do is fantastic, and I really believe in it. And I just think that it's important, really important, that people realize that you still are selling something and you still have to drive traffic, and you still have to market it. So whether you're marketing a product or a service, whatever, it's the same as marketing an investment opportunity because you're going to everyone. So I just wanted to give a couple of insights into my background. And Henry, by the way, 12 months after I incorporated Frame again, I didn't have a name. So I think what you've achieved is fantastic. So well done to you, and thank you for having me. Cheers.